we'll wake up. We're starting.
Yeah, let's go.
All right, welcome to another episode of the Free Speech Podcast with the original and best-looking crew in the Hizay. It's me, Darius Davies, as ever, with Mr. Leo Curse.
Hello.
Beijing Sensation.
Gang.
And back behind the camera, man about town.
It's your boy Mouch.
Woo woo!
How you guys?
All good, man. It's been as ever in the world that we're living in, it's been a polemical clown world week.
Polemical.
Polemical.
You know what that word means?
It means controversial.
No, that's not what it means.
Why is every time I come on this podcast, you're telling me
I
what?
mean, at least you pronounced it right.
Okay, Google. Doesn't. Why have I got no internet? I'm gonna Google what polemical means. But you tell them what we're gonna be talking about.
Producer Mouch has already done it, involving strongly critical or dispacious writing of speech.
Yeah, controversial.
No, but polemical describes somebody giving a. So if somebody's giving a speech and it's hugely like bombastic and you know hyperbolic and stuff.
Yeah.
Then
What do we call the fucking CO26 conference if that's not polemical?
It's not polemical. If you spoke about it in a polemical way, that would be polemical.
I don't have time for
Listen, man, you just asked. You just asked us.
I didn't ask.
You asked us if
it.
ducks.
No one.
You asked us if ducks. If you get milk from ducks.
Yeah, can you get milk from ducks?
Like that's and you're not like this is something you'd expect from a 3-year-old.
Oh yeah, because they got eggs.
They got eggs.
I didn't realize.
What about
duck milk?
What about a duck-billed platypus? Does that have milk? Because that is something
that's
that
an
lays
interesting one.
eggs and is technically a mammal.
Yeah,
Actually-
and it's got a poison barb in its armpit.
Does it?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, they're badass.
Can we have a picture of a duck-billed platypus? They're really cute as well.
I saw one in the wild in Australia.
Is it cute?
Yeah, well, I mean, I couldn't really see it very well. I could see it swimming, but I could see it.
I want to pet duck-billed platypus. Look how cool they are.
Oh my god, look how cute that little one
I
is.
told you how cute they are.
That looks. That is amazing.
Yeah. And the bill, that duck bill type thing, senses like electrical vibrations, so it can like find fish and mollusks and things to eat.
Duck-billed.
And mates as well. They use the bill to send out a signal to
Is this true?
to mate. Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Cool.
Look it up.
Okay.
Yeah, they do. They secrete milk from specialized mammary glands, just like humans or other mammals. But platypuses don't have teats, so the milk just oozes from the surface of their skin.
Why, they just lick it off the skin?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fucking grim.
Yeah.
I like duck-billed platypuses and honey badgers are some of
They
my favorite
sweat
animals.
milk.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
for them.
I bet
I
they
like-
stink.
I like capybara and degus and goondies.
And you like
What are they?
Gerbils, yeah. They're the capybara is the world's largest rodent.
We
Like
got,
a
we got a
big-
few of them at
it's
the
like-
back here.
What's your
Like a big rat.
What's your favorite animal, Nico?
Flamingo.
Oh, that's a good animal actually.
Flamingo.
Why?
Well, they don't look very friendly.
It's exotic.
It's quite exotic. You know why they're pink?
No.
Because they eat
Stuff they eat.
prawns and shrimp.
Yeah. And when they keep them in zoos, they've got to put in like a food colouring to their food to make them pink.
Why don't they just feed them prawns and shrimp?
Because that's more expensive than dog food or whatever they give them.
Just like other ground up flamingos.
Yeah.
Flamingo Casino in Vegas has got a cool sign as well. I went there.
What is it?
It's just a flamingo, but it's in cool pink.
It's just a cool animal, man. It's
Yeah.
just different. You know what I mean?
They're quite ostentatious.
And then you see them
there.
all moving together. It's like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? That little dance they do.
Yeah. And the way they sort of dip down and put their heads in the water to
Yeah.
filter stuff, that's quite cool. Not as cool as a capybara.
I wonder if they have milk.
Capybaras have milk.
The flamingos have milk.
I don't know. I'm
No,
just
it's a
Googling.
bird.
Yeah, I know, but you never know.
Yeah, maybe
Well,
it's
I do, it's a bird.
Oh yeah, it's a bird mooch.
Yeah.
Bird.
Anyway, what's on our thing of topics for today?
Sorry.
What we're going to talk about?
So
Parrot
today,
flamingos produce crop milk,
Well.
red in color in their digestive tracts and regular. And
crop milk isn't milk for the young though. Crop milk's to help digest food and grind up the. So
Look,
the milk
I wasn't
lubricates-
specific about the type of milk.
It
but
lubricates the gizzard.
But
Yeah.
it's a type of milk. Can flamingos produce milk?
But it's
bird
not-
milk through glands.
It's
and-
not milk in terms of like milk to feed the
Is it
young.
called milk?
Yeah.
It's milk.
Yeah,
in
lots
my
of things are called milk and they're not actual real milk.
Name one.
Milk and magnesia.
Oat milk, almond milk.
Yeah.
Not milk.
You know what gets on my tits about vegans when they say like, oh, you shouldn't drink milk because it wasn't, it's made to like make baby cows grow. It's not made to like make humans grow. And it's like, well, fucking oats aren't made to make humans
Baby
grow.
cows aren't made to make humans grow, but we eat them.
Yeah, and like, well, that's another argument that vegans say. They're like, all this stuff like this milk isn't made to make humans, but none of this stuff, oat milk, all the other stuff, soy milk, none of that is made to make humans grow. It's made to make the fucking soybean grow or whatever.
Apparently, the McDonald's have got a new vegan burger out called the Muck Plant, which is quite tasty.
You know what? Shit. Leon. Leon.
Really?
is-
No.
That's a good film.
It's quite cheap.
Not the film. you dickhead. Leon restaurant.
Yeah, that
happened
Leon
to
is shit.
Brash?
I agree.
What
I agree.
happened?
Tell us, Nico.
I went and got the chicken burger. So the bread is like that, right?
Yeah,
The chicken was like this size, like that size.
really.
It wasn't. It was a third of the bread.
Really?
Yeah. It was, and I was just so hungry and in a rush that if I had took a picture of that or went to them and complained, they would have to give me a new burger.
Yeah, yeah.
It
That-
was a shambles. But I was just in such a rush.
Yeah, yeah.
I just ate it and scoffed.
Was that before you were here?
But
Like
nah,
rushing
nah,
to get here on time.
Was that the Carnaby Street one?
The one in London Bridge.
Oh
Man.
yeah, I've been to that one.
It is Leon taking.
You know what?
the piss, man.
I like Leon generally.
Yeah.
I think it's generally quite good. The food is decent quality and it's not too expensive. But sometimes you get a dodgy burger.
No, I disagree. I'm with Nico. Every time I've been to Leon, the portions have been really small.
Yeah,
for
the
the
rice. You get this much rice.
Yeah, but it's,
And, like,
it's
two-
cheap.
It's not cheap.
It is quite cheap.
I just want to shit on Zebranos in Australia, the taco place. Remember when the guy pulled out a scoop of meat, then he leveled it off. Why are you leveling it off, man?
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
it's not your-
Literally just
too
too
much
much so
meat
it's
for you,
fucking level
you
in the little
cheap
cup.
bastard.
It's not even your fucking meat.
And I
like
saw-
it comes out of his salary.
Yeah, and then they pick up the things and be like the loosest grip, like a claw machine.
What the fuck is Zabrano?
It's like a fake Chipotle in Australia, and I went there thinking I'm gonna have a delicious taco, and the guy's like literally, like when they just free pour the alcohol, just scoop it up, don't level it off, and then pick up the
They do that
thing.
at Chipotle too, though.
No,
But sometimes-
Chipotle are generous.
No. If you ask them, you're like, hey, come on. They sort you out.
Yeah, I won't hear bad
yeah.
words against Chipotle. Chipotle, I'll go in there and I'll say, can I try some of that? And I try every single one of them, which I've tried before. Finally, I settle on one. Then I say, can I
What,
double?
they give you a scoop of it to try?
Yeah. Then I ask for double meat. Then I say, all right. Then they put it on and actually I only want single meat, but too late for them to put it back. So then I get double meat for free.
I would hate to work in retail when you come. Like you'll get double meat, but also double spit from
No,
Mooch.
'cause
That's
they- no.
I don't care. I'll be like, oh yeah, look here, sir. Here's a free cookie.
I don't want the free. I see the whole. I saw the whole fabrication process. I watch it with a beady eye, and I say there'll be no spitting in my food.
Yeah, have some fucking flamingo milk in this fucker.
Yeah, and also I only ask the fit people to make it. So when they spit on my food, I'm like, yeah, fuck it, that's just more flavour.
There's very rarely.
got a boner.
Let's be honest. There's very rarely very many fit people who work in retail because if you're
I don't
fit,
know,
you
man.
probably work in a better job.
I've seen some fit people working at Chipotle.
Yeah, your version of fit and my version of fit might be two different things.
I'm 99% certain they are fucking different things, Mooch. Yeah, I've seen. Look, other than your beautiful current partner, I've seen some of the other.
Who have you seen that I've been fucking?
Well, I've seen the Thing, Freddy Krueger. I've seen some
I
of
miss her. She was great. She had a great personality. She was a lovely, lovely girl. I want to have her. And also, she got very angry. You wouldn't like her when she's angry.
No,
Yeah.
that was a bit rubbish.
Should we go through the topics?
Yeah, let's go. Let's actually start the podcast.
Yeah, let's start the podcast. So this week, Terry Gilliam's been cancelled from the Old Vic because staff at the Old Vic complained that his comments made them feel unsafe. We've got COP26, the climate conference going on in Glasgow, even though Glasgow's got a climate that needs to change. There's a shock win for the Republicans. So this is a seat that Joe Biden, the Democrats, took with a double-digit lead at the election, and now it's swung back over to the Republicans, probably because of a fake rally that Democrats
Boring.
stayed. No, this is a really interesting.
It's quite interesting.
Man, there's the Jussie Smollett. of rally.
Who's our market, though? British people, American people? I don't think.
Man, everybody's interested in this.
Our people are the Russian Londoner, right?
Big up the Russian Londoner.
Big up Russian Londoner. By the way, just because we're here, 4 people commented. We've only got 2 masks, but turns out Nico stole one and Leo stole another one. So we've actually
we got given them.
and we got no, I stole one.
All right.
I got given one and I stole an extra one. That's why I had 2. So we've got 4 masks. Actually, 4 of you commented, liked, and subscribed. So Russian Londoner, you win the mask. Sam, you win the mask. Muck Murchie, you win the mask. And I think is Andy Lawrence, you also win the mask.
That's right.
So all 4 of you.
All you have to do is send us your bank account details. Just post them in the comments
Stamp
below.
addressed envelope.
Can you send
And
direct
your,
messages?
and your Bitcoin wallet.
Can you send direct messages on YouTube? Can you do that?
I don't know. Just hit up the 3 Speech Instagram. Send us a dick.
Yeah.
Send us a
Send us a
message.
dick pic.
Send us a dick pic with your address written on your dick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we'll get them sent out to you. But well done. One of you, and whoever wants the signed phone case that I stole, that can go to one. If
By the
one
way,
of you-
I just want to say that Darius is going to be sorting out all the postage and packaging. So if you don't get your mask
Yeah.
promptly, please do take
No,
it
that
up with
should
him.
be Vittorio's job actually.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's Vittorio's job. That's Vittorio's job.
Earn some of that £80 a
Yeah,
week.
he's being overpaid.
Yeah, we pay him £80 a week to do this.
Well, you
podcast.
don't.
Yeah, I do. I've set up a standing order. That's more than my mobile
All right,
phone.
let's carry on with
Right.
the pod.
We've also got a German car park that has there's got special parking spaces for LGBT people.
Yeah, and migrants.
And but what like this it's ridiculous. You can just suck a dick. You can just what are they going to do? Like check
Well, I
that you
just want
suck a
to.
dick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, it's important that people have their own parking spaces, and I think it's.
It just shows this whole tolerance and diversity and inclusion thing actually just means
More division.
excluding
bringing
certain
back
people.
segregation.
That's my argument against disabled parking. Exact same thing.
There's been an
Divisive.
intergender MMA fight. A Cornell University professor is failing students for not wearing their mask properly. The Royal Marines have totally dominated American troops. Darius got the first 1-star review in the history of Vauxhall Comedy Club,
Yep.
which Mouch is delighted about because he runs Vauxhall Comedy Club.
Yep.
And there's a couple of other things that we might get to. So should we start with your you
Okay,
get
so
cancelled?
the 1-star review wasn't due to my comedy performance. Actually, Mooch, you're the
Kinda
proprietor.
fucking
You
was.
tell us what happened in Mooch, and I'll defend myself.
Well, I wasn't there.
You weren't there.
This is all hearsay, but there were some people being a little bit chatty during the show, and they were talked to a couple of times to be quiet. It obviously wasn't working, and Darius took it into his own hands to verbally assault them with some slurs and a triad of vitriol. That worked
Polemical.
to a degree.
Polemical speech.
Hey, they shut up after that, though.
that's the right use.
They
of the
shut
word
up
polemical.
because they were writing 1-star reviews in the back row.
Well, it wasn't actually the women that you.
No, the women didn't. You know what it was? It wasn't
was
the
it
wo-
someone else who got
The women
upset?
didn't complain. The women came up to me, and women behind them. So basically, long story short, a friend of ours, Vittorio, was MCing. He's very funny. He's a good MC, but he
see
didn't.
how you can blame this on Victoria.
I'm not gonna listen. A bad workman always blames his tools, so I'm gonna blame Vittorio, the mics, and a whole lot of other things. No, Vittorio MC'd, and he did. It's first of all, let's just set the scene. I was a judge, so I wasn't actually doing a show, but I was a judge on the panel at the Gong Show. Right? This is the Vauxhall Gong Show. So remember, they're expecting a caliber. It's advertised with Mouch wearing a cap, waving a dildo. So there was literally people waving a dildo. So this is a show where they're like,
Yeah, it's
oh,
called
this-
the Ding Dong Gong
Yeah,
Show.
no,
3
it's a- it's-
dongs and you're gone. Those were the cocks.
Yeah,
called the
it's great.
shots.
So
I think
no-
you'd like that.
Yeah, it's great. I love it. But what I'm saying is, if you're an audience member, basically, so there's Vittorio's emceeing it, and he set the room up, but he didn't. There was this group of girls. They were drunk from the start of the show, right? And they were chatting, and Vittorio should have shut them down at the beginning. All they had to do was say, "Listen, you're welcome. We love you being here, but no more talking during the show." And he didn't do it, so they were incessantly talking. And these are new acts. I was judging, and they wouldn't shut up. So I told them to shut up. My only mistake was I called one of them a bitch, and the mistake wasn't calling him a bitch because I call everyone a bitch. It's calling a girl a bitch. But what else could I call him? Like a cunt. Then it was, oh, you called a girl a cunt. So they didn't even freak out. Some guys at the back freaked out about it, right? Oh, you hate women, which pissed me off because I've got a fucking wife and daughter. How can I hate women? It's ridiculous.
What kind of argument is that? Man,
argument.
Fred West and a wife and daughter.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and he was mad, and he was loyal and married to what's her name till the
He just
very
hated
bitter end.
those particular women.
Rose Rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just hated those women.
Yeah.
Anyway, my whole point is, if they weren't talking, I wouldn't have told them to shut up. I did the right thing
Yeah.
as a comedian.
Who were they
Yeah.
talking to though?
They were talking amongst
to the
themselves.
acts or
No,
to
they were
each other?
drunk, just chatting amongst themselves during the show, just being proper disruptive.
And so Vittorio was MCing, so you think he should have really shut them down and told them to
Vittorio
shut
should
up?
have opened the show because it was from the very beginning. They were
Did
chatting.
he know they were chatting?
Yeah, he saw them. They
saw
were from the start. He's MCing. They were chatting amongst themselves, having a fucking party while the show was going on. And all he had to say is grab their attention. Say, listen, you got to be quiet when the show's on. You can chat in the break. You can chat to me, but when the show's on, you can't do it.
Yeah, fair enough.
And then we've got fucking some terrified new acts doing their best, trying their best, and they're just chatting the whole way through. It's like, have some. I understand it is the Dong Show. Have some respect. But basically, I have to say the audience were very entitled, but it's because they weren't set up right from the start.
I will say this though, and I don't know, Mouch not to slander or anything. but
Careful
a lot
with
of
your
the
words today.
a lot of the people who come, they don't respect comedy. Because last week when I was here,
Oh, were you here last week?
whenever it was last week or the week before, they don't understand the etiquette of comedy. Some of the people who come here,
Yeah.
they're just getting up and walking out and in
Right.
while the show is going on.
Even
I
though
think
breaks.
Aaron McCann was emceeing,
Right.
but people just I'm doing my set.
Yeah.
And people just getting up and walking away and coming in, even through everybody's set.
Is that
I'm
like because MC's supposed to say like there's this break and that, and then people know that they can
I
go
think
get
it's
a drink in
because
the
they
break
sell
and stuff.
food outside and stuff.
Ah,
and people just
right.
getting. I'm like, what the fuck
I-
is going on here?
I don't.
So-
I think it's because what you mentioned. If the MC,
No. That's something different. That's something.
But you
different.
set up the room. The room needs to be
yeah,
set up
yes,
so they
but
know
Are you
don't-
emceeing? No, you were just doing a
I
set.
was just doing a
Yeah,
set.
yeah.
Yeah. But I think because they got the food things outside, yes, the MC could mention it. But
Was it in the big room?
it was indoors.
Yeah, but is it in the big room or the small room?
The small room.
Small room.
Yeah. Because the booth is to the side
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
and whatnot.
yeah.
People just getting up and so I think some of the people who come here they don't
They're on a
have
different
that,
vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They don't
yeah.
have that comedy etiquette.
They're in-
or
their
they
audience
just like come to.
It is a rowdy crowd.
Yeah,
we have.
yeah,
We
yeah,
have a
yeah.
rowdy crowd.
Honestly, I'm not buying that because Mooch, I MC Hate and Live in the most rowdiest crowd at midnight
But
in
that's
Edinburgh.
a different
It's
setting.
not a different
They
setting.
are at a comedy festival. They know.
No, they don't.
know they're-
You've never done Hate and
Edinburgh.
Live.
I've done Hate
You-
and Live twice.
What at Edinburgh?
In Edinburgh.
At
I've
the
done
midnight
Edinburgh.
show?
Yes,
Which one
the
did
late
you-
night show. They're at a
You've
comedy
never done
festival.
it?
I've done it.
Hate
I've
and
done
Live
it.
or
Talking about
Late
late
Night?
and live.
I've done Hate and Live. I've done
Our-
Hate
our
and Live.
show.
Yes, your show. You
How
on a
come we've got
stage.
no recollection?
Yeah, I got no
Did you
recollection.
did you fucking
This
like
was
use
like-
those
this
needles
was-
in
this was
nightclubs
like 4 years ago.
But
Who
anyway,
else was on?
my point is,
They're at comedy festivals. They understand.
Not
Some of
all
the
of them.
people who
No,
come here, they're
Hate-
just laddie lads.
Yeah, Hate and
and
Live's like
they're-
after midnight, and it's like people are wild and drunk and stuff, but you can still.
and we
You just got
control the
you
room.
gotta, yeah, you gotta like just set the rules for the room.
There's nothing with food outside or the
Oh, there
vibe.
Yeah, there's drinks.
There's
There's,
food. I don't know, but
Not
you might
like
not have
food
done it
stalls.
recently.
We're in this is a room
Three Sisters is exactly the same. It's got a courtyard outside,
Yeah.
Nico, with food stalls and
at a
everything.
comedy festival. People
and
know
also,
what they're coming
also
for.
Hate and Live runs for an hour, whereas like
I've been to
like,
Hate and Live.
The thing is like you get the you've got like 25 minutes, then you
I've-
got a break. 25 minutes, you got a break. So it's
I've been
much
to Hate
easier
and
for the
Live.
audience to go and get a drink. But I mean, I always find your club a pleasure to play.
Let's call it what it is. It is a rowdy crowd.
yeah.
We've got a rowdy crowd, and sometimes, like, I've not been here for the last month. I used to go up and do a little shut the fuck up speech at the start, because sometimes people, this might be their first or second time ever at a comedy show, and they need to understand it. You need to treat it like the theatre or the cinema.
Yeah.
Don't shut the fuck up when the entertainment is on.
That's all you need.
And that's what you need. And sometimes that might not have been done. Because I normally do that myself. Get up on stage and tell people to shut the fuck up before the show's on, and threaten them with public shaming, because we will film them and upload it to social media if they are a cunt.
That's exactly all
Can
you
I-
need is that. Is
can
that at
I-
the start of the show, you just
Yeah.
need. I always find, and we've
shut
done
up
this.
about
Wait there.
boring MC things.
Yeah, I was going to say this is going to take a tangent. We
So
started-
can I just read out? So somebody wrote in, honestly, they wrote like a fucking essay into this is like to the club to complain about Darius. So some primary school teacher. I thought I'd write in instead, because what happened next was utterly appalling. One of the judge comedians, Darius, was downright abusive towards an audience member, shouting at her for talking and calling her a fucking bitch in the most aggressive tone, and he refused to apologise for it for the remaining second half of the show. It was disgraceful, and I felt he should have been asked to leave the premises. I felt, now, like, hecklers, of course, have every right to stay, but the comedians should leave. They should get thrown out by security. I felt so upset by how he behaved that I wanted to speak to him or a manager about it, but I realised that he was blah blah blah. Oh, fucking hell, man! Just you, and then at the end she's like, "Can I have half-price pizza?" Like, it's like, fuck me. Just get a second job. Get a second job writing for fucking Mumsnet or something instead of writing fucking whole
Darius,
essay pages of this shit.
Would you like to apologize? for what you said to the lady.
I apologize.
Listen, bitch.
The only
bitch.
person I apologize to is I apologize to Mouch and Voxel because I would never want them to get a low star rating. I don't think
I just want to
they
let
should
you
have
know.
come straight to me.
I've been teasing Darius about this, but I did say to you, I said, look, mate, at the end of the day, I generally don't give a fuck because these are the people we don't want at the comedy club. So if there's someone who's talking during a show and giving it disrespect, look, just don't come.
But
don't come back because that's not what we want.
Can I have Darius's spots, please?
It might have just been a case of
Transfer them over.
ignorance.
Well, to be fair,
By which I mean Darius not knowing how to do comedy.
well, let me just in my defense, I did do an entire show about Spanish people complaining about the exact same thing in Edinburgh. So I had to do a previous for this. I will freak out if you disrespect the show.
Yeah. You're sort of famous for having those like on-stage freakouts and trying to
Darius
kill
did
people.
14 minutes on Croydon.
In hindsight, that was a mistake.
Not from Croydon.
Closing the show. And everybody came down to see what madness was this.
That was a mistake. I was very tired. I'm a person as well. Sometimes I get tired and I forget what I'm meant to be doing.
Croydon.
So yeah.
Croydon, right? Croydon.
I thought it was. Yeah, whatever.
So what else has been happening? Terry Gilliam was.
Well, am I innocent of that or am I guilty?
Sometimes you go over the line, but that's part of the fun. You don't get the it's like watching a racing car drive who crashes.
You're innocent amongst your peers.
And that's what counts.
But it's like watching, if you want to watch racing, watch Formula One. It's no fun if nobody crashes.
Yeah.
Darius drives so fast he crashes.
And called someone a bitch while he was crashing.
Yeah.
So
Hey, you bitch!
bitch smash.
So yeah, Terry Gilliam, unfortunately, your venue's standing by you. You haven't been deplatformed from Mouch's Comedy Club yet. But Terry Gilliam has been deplatformed.
Who's Terry Gilliam?
So
He wrote.
He's the Monty Python,
something
one of the creative geniuses behind Monty Python, and also he's a film director. So he directed 12 Monkeys and Fisher King.
That's the one.
And also Brazil. I don't know if you've seen Brazil. It's set in this dystopian
De Niro,
future that's pretty much exactly like 2021.
Is it good?
It's actually not that good. There's two different cuts of it, so I've only watched one cut. But anyway, so he was due to co-direct a Stephen Sondheim play, Into the Woods, at the Old Vic. But staff at the Old Vic, like this is fucking ushers and stuff, like people who sell ice cream, they complained that they'd feel unsafe. It's like, the guy's fucking 80. He's not going to come in like fucking swinging at you. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but he's a white man.
the most people,
Possibly straight.
This is one of the things. This is one of the things that they complained about because he's spoken out against. He said, stop blaming white men for everything, and he's also spoken out against Me Too. He said the Me Too movement got out of hand, and good people were getting dragged by it, and it turned into a witch hunt, which is fucking true. Obviously,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Jesus
Free Weinstein.
Christ. Yeah, free man. That guy. All right, fuck. He asked for a few blowjobs, but some of the best films.
Yeah, he did
Come
make
on.
good films.
He launched some careers.
Yeah, yeah, he did. And like, where's the gratitude? Where's the gratitude?
I think they
You know what
showed
I
it
mean?
already. Hence the
I think it's either on someone's face or in a bush.
In a fern.
is that her name? So I'm confused by this. Like, is it only the comments he's made? And it seemed like he made one comment in an interview to the Independent, where he said, it's black, so decent people getting hammered.
Yeah.
And then he said he's going to identify as a black woman or something.
Yeah, so
like
he mocked identity politics as well. So
Yeah.
he said he identified as a black lesbian in transition, which if somebody else
Where did he say this?
just in an interview, like if somebody else said this, everybody would be like, "Oh my God, you're so brave! Oh look, it's a black lesbian in transition." But because Terry Gilliam does it, they're like, "Oh no, he's making fun of it."
Well, if he
So
hadn't
it's
said,
bad.
if he hadn't
he
said
is
black,
obviously making fun of it, but isn't he a comedian?
Yeah, he's certainly involved in comedy.
He's like he's allowed to sort of take the piss and just have flippant comments without it sort of.
Yeah, and the
But
whole
that's the problem, man. You should be able to make that comment and just joke about shit. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You should be able to say,
yeah,
I
absolutely.
identify as whatever.
Yeah, and if you can make fun of something, that shows there's a weakness in the thing. There's a flaw that you can exploit and expose. So if he was making fun of, if he was saying like, Ford cars, their seatbelts don't work. Everybody be like, well, wait a minute, Ford car seatbelts do work. But because he's mocking something that's obviously flawed and it's full of dissonance.
well, he fucked up by saying black. If he just said a lesbian in transition, they would have it's quite at the moment. You still you're not.
I think it's like I think look, the thing that's crazy about this is that they gave him it and then took it away. That's what's crazy, because like I can understand if they just said, okay, cool, we're not going to go with this guy.
Yeah.
But they've given him this opportunity, or they've said they've greenlit this project, and then there's been rumblings from the staff, and they buckled to the rumblings of the staff.
Is this genuinely the ushers?
No, well, this is staff. I mean, so like, you know, all the people who work in a theatre, so there's lighting riggers. We don't have time to go through.
Yeah, okay, but it's like
it's
you're
the
not
staff.
the creative people. Like, why are you making it?
Exactly. They're fucking. Why would people? There should be a minimum pay grade that you have to attain before you're allowed to complain about stuff. Man, these people haven't reached the grade. They're not earning enough to make editorial decisions about what a theatre puts out.
Well, maybe Terry Gilliam should open his own Old Vic. Yeah, maybe he should go and open his own Old Vic, build his own.
What is the?
Old Vic
what
is
was he gonna produce?
So he's going to co-direct a Stephen Sondheim play called Into the Woods.
Yeah, can't he take it somewhere else?
Yeah, it's going to go to another venue. They'd already sold thousands of tickets, by the way. This isn't one of these things, because sometimes they say, oh, they just pulled it because it hadn't sold any tickets. Man, this is going to be hugely popular.
So they've moved it. He found somewhere else.
They found somewhere else. But this is going to add to the self-censorship of theatre commissioners who are going to be like, well, we don't want this furore. We've got to be more careful about who we book. And then in the future, they're not going to book anything that could attract a problem.
Well, what will be interesting will be to see, now that they've bowed down to the staff's demands, how it fares and how this run fares in a different theatre. Because my experience and my knowledge of looking at these things is anytime this happens, that thing will continue to be success, because it turns out the right people are supportive. And the left will complain to take shit down, but then they won't watch it, which is why the Mesh report has been moved from one channel to another. It looks like it's going to fail again, because despite what they say they love it, no one watches it.
Yeah, and it's like in the 80s.
I watch it. I think it's great.
It's like in the 80s when all these like religious groups would be like, oh, look at this video nasty, look at this pornography, and then it was just free advertising for that thing, and then everybody would go and watch, you know, what
Parent advisory label was like, oh, okay, cool, I'm buying this album.
So that's an example of cancel culture getting out of control.
Cancel culture doesn't exist. It's a myth.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't exist until it gets you.
Yeah.
So yeah, and COP26 is going on. So we've got this climate change conference going on in Scotland, which is, I don't know if you've been following this.
I see this stuff, but I don't know what it means.
Basically, they get so 30,000 delegates have flown in from all around the world. And they're having this, because obviously flying, you know what I mean? You're gonna you're trying to save the planet.
Carbon friendly.
So they've flown in on private jets, literally private jets. Jeff Bezos, all these people flying in on private jets. The Prince of Monaco private jet, and then they're pointing at everybody else. No, you cannot fly economy to Tenerife. That is bad, you know. And then they jet off in their private jet again.
Well, you can't drink out of a plastic straw.
yeah, as they're like literally doing cocaine off a dolphin.
Yeah. Biden brought his 84 car fucking entourage, and then they're telling us that we can't even buy a fucking fossil fuel car anymore. They're all electric anyway. Why are you blaming us?
Do you believe the climate is warming though?
Yeah.
You believe that?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not a problem. The idea that it's a huge problem, there's going to be winners and there's going to be losers. But actually, carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is at a dangerously low level, and at current rates, it would actually fall below the level that can sustain plant life in 2 million years.
Do you know what
2 million years?
No, I'm serious.
Do you know what I actually believe? I couldn't give a shit. I want it to get hotter, because by the time
but it's not going to get hotter.
I don't care. I'll be dead. It's not going to affect me till 50 years.
What about your little girl?
3 weeks.
It's her fault. It's her fault for being born too late. I'll be fine, yeah? They'll have invented some other shit. She'll be living in Meta by then anyway.
You were saying the scientists, mainstream scientists got it wrong?
Not a lot of mainstream scientists. I mean, it's not really about science at this point. It's about ideology. So there's huge benefits. So carbon dioxide is plant food. We're already seeing the greening of arid regions because plants can survive there because they don't have to open their stomata as wide to take in air, because they don't need as much air because there's more carbon dioxide in the air. So we're seeing the greening of arid areas. We're seeing higher crop yields. We're seeing plants growing more easily. Historically, if you look back on geological scales, I mean, all right, since the Industrial Revolution, the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere has been rising, but geologically, it's at insanely low levels, and there's a huge amount of carbon sequestered. And if you look at the White Cliffs of Dover, that's all animals, the calcium carbonate, so that's storing that carbon. I mean, really, we're just sort of resetting the balance. During the pre-Cambrian era, it was 7,500 parts per million of carbon dioxide. Now it's down to like 400.
Can we all just take a moment to appreciate Leo's vast knowledge on all biological and historical things in this podcast today regarding the environment and the milk process of certain animals? I mean, this has been off the like. If this was an animal podcast, we'll be killing it, man. This is fucking Cambrian era, fucking fossil fuels. What's going on, man?
I'm not sure.
Are you that?
I'm not sure. Like, we might need to have another voice on this pod that's kind of like is countering this, because we have scenes like sort of mass flooding, displacement of people, and mudslide and shit like that. Which is
we're getting more extreme weather events, but
Yeah.
a lot of the actual impact of that is due to poor management rather than
poor management of.
So, if you look at all the new houses being built in England, they're being built in floodplains because that's where they can be built, instead of building them, in places that are better to place a building if there's going to be flooding.
Yeah.
So you're saying they don't need all of these restrictions on carbon emissions and net zero? You're saying you wouldn't implement none of that stuff? The Paris Agreement and all that shit? That's nonsense?
I mean, I think, climate change is going to have an impact, but we need to be looking at it holistically and looking at the benefits as well. So, I mean, the tundra is going to be opened up for farmland.
What? There's going to be a lot more swimming.
I mean, sea
Lots more swimming when the sea levels rise.
All right. If sea levels are going to rise, why did Barack Obama and Michelle
Buy
Obama
a house in Maine, next
right
to
at
the
sea fucking level? Right at sea level. They bought a house at sea level, and they're all like, sea levels are going to rise.
I don't think it's their only house. I think.
Why? But why would they buy one?
Listen, you know what it is? Most people's problem with this is everyone's supportive of climate change, but what we don't like...
No, they're not.
Well, no, but in general, right? So you want to do what's right for the planet. Yeah, in general you do, yeah?
Yeah, but not if it's going to cost me money.
Well, why don't you let me finish my point, and then you'll see that you'll agree. In general, if it's not going to cost you money, you want to help the planet out, right? Most people do. It's the sheer hypocrisy that we're getting all these leaders coming in saying, oh, you do this. Motherfucker, I fly once a year maybe to fucking EasyJet to Tenerife. That's my entire carbon footprint, right? I can't even drive a guzzling car. This is my fucking coffee. It's not me. It's fucking you. You and your private jets. Yeah. You and your fucking loads of money. You're speaking to us. I mean, look at China. Do something about them who create half the world's pollution. And it's like you're expecting us to eat like bugs in this. It's not us. Most people, we're happy to do what we can do, but you're acting like we're the ones doing it. And we're getting lectured by Greta Thunberg and you're killing our planet. No, I'm not doing nothing.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to eat my life.
And so much of the policy and the things they do are completely counterproductive. So, for example, the SNP have hired a fleet of electric Jaguars to ferry delegates around at COP26, but there aren't enough charging points. They've also had to hire, and I'm not making this up, they've had to hire a fleet of diesel generators to travel around on trucks following the cars to charge them when they need it. It's like, what, so you've got 3 machines instead of 1?
But you know what this is? This is just where we are. It's all, everything
It's
right
just
now.
a PR front.
It's all theatre. Like, wear your mask. As soon as the cameras are literally, they take their masks off.
Yeah.
But you have to wear your mask. And that's everything we do right now. It's all political theatre. That's my theory.
I agree. Nico, what do you think?
I was just wondering.
well, what do you think about climate change? Are you for it, against it? What do you think?
Yeah, because you got children.
I think I don't know. I think the climate is getting hotter. Is it detrimental and is going to cause a catastrophe? I'm not sure about that.
Yeah.
I think there are fluctuations in temperature, and sometimes you get, adverse weather events randomly throughout history. So from when I travel and whatnot, and when I ask people and when I go back home, things do seem hotter, and winters seem like, when I went to Norway, the guy says we used to be able to ski from, let's say, October straight through to like February. And now he says you only get to ski like 2 months.
Right.
And so stuff like that. And people are saying, yeah, it is hotter. Like when I go about to Barbados now, it's like way hotter as well. So I do think we are going through a period right now where things are getting hotter and the overall climate is rising and whatnot. But do I think that's going to stay like that? I'm not sure. And do I think it will end the world? I don't think so.
Yeah. That's the
I don't
important
think so.
thing. I don't think it's going to end the world either. I
Yeah.
think there's going to be changes, but like all
I
this.
don't think it's going to end the world, but I do think that there's going to be, it's going to have massive impacts on the world that are not as obvious as you think. So I think there's going to be mass migration, where people like if places just getting flooded and people can't live there, it's going to displace a lot of people.
We're not seeing a huge rise in sea levels though. I don't think the sea level thing is going to be an issue. I think, and also climate change mainly affects the poles and the sort of
Fuck them.
And so the equator, the countries that are already warm don't get affected as much. I think Barbados just feels hot because you've been in Britain so long.
Nah, it's definitely.
There's more
I want to do
hurricanes
a
and stuff,
free
isn't it,
speech
as well?
podcast from Barbados.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be amazing.
Well, we're going to do one from Dubai
Oh yeah, we should do that.
next year when we go out to Dubai.
They're not gonna let us in the country.
Yeah, they
Why?
Because you gotta get.
Yeah, just
will. I'll get jabbed.
I'll just lie.
I'll get
about it.
coronavirus again. They'll probably have forgotten about it by then. There'll be something else for them. To
We're gonna
control
do a
their
free
life.
speech podcast from Dubai in November next
Yeah.
year. That'll be fun.
Next year.
Oh yes, yeah. I wanted it to be this year, but unfortunately,
I'm over there in November this year, actually.
this month.
Yeah, end of the month.
For a holiday or gigs or what?
It's for I do a cryptocurrency podcast, or I'm.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it's their Christmas do.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
Is Dominic Frisbee involved with that?
no.
All right.
What's the best crypto that we should buy that not
We should have bought
Bitcoin or Ethereum?
Shiba Inu. To be honest, I don't know. I'm just the layman on the podcast, so I asked the obvious questions.
Don't call yourself a lame man.
What does a layman mean,
No,
Darius?
I said
wanna hear-
lame man.
All right.
Okay, but what does a layman mean?
Someone who lays down. Someone who doesn't know their shit about cryptocurrencies.
Darius is our grammar and linguistics
Dictionary corner.
specialist. Yeah.
I'd love to see him on Countdown getting like poo.
One time I went out on a date with some girl years ago.
What was his name?
Bob. And she made me. And she went to some pub, and she was so boring. And she pulled out a game of Scrabble.
That's fun.
Oh god, it was so boring. And she was like writing words like really long. And mine were literally like two, poo, zoo. Actually, zoo's
Do you want to see
quite
Vittorio on Countdown?
good. Is he on the podcast?
We've
Yeah, I
seen
did.
Victoria
that
was-
a million times.
I haven't seen it. Did he win?
No, but
Was it before he did comedy?
yeah.
Oh fuck!
I thought it was quite funny.
What else we got, man?
Oh fuck!
That's all we got.
So here we've got on that screen. If you bring it back up, we've got the German car park.
Oh,
with,
yeah.
Space is what do you call it? Restricted, reserved for people who are.
Hanau Parkomus built 3 diversity parking spaces in underground car parks. City Councillor Thomas Morrock said these will help people who feel a special need for protection. I think it kind of singles them out, if I'm honest.
Yeah, this is where you
rather
need
than
to go.
blending into like. It's kind of like, okay, cool. If you were going to commit a hate crime against someone,
Yeah.
you kind of just wait around those spaces.
Yeah, and
think-
if you don't want to do a direct hate crime on a person, you can just key their car.
Are they gonna have like badges like disabled badges, like just some
Disabled.
dick?
But how do you know if someone is
Yeah, you give them the
gay or
they've got to have-
lesbian or
You can tell by the
bi?
car. If it's a Fiat 500 driven by a bloke, then you're gay. Yeah,
If it's a smart car,
Yeah, if it's
yeah.
a smart car, you're able to park there. That's absolutely fine.
If it's a V8, you're not allowed to. But yeah,
No,
it's
but
ridiculous.
honestly, how
I
can you
don't know.
say?
I don't know.
How can you tell a person?
just?
You
know?
need a gay badge. I told you they need to get like a disabled person
Which
badge with a gay
they've
badge.
done in Germany before,
Oh, have they?
and
They've
it
got
wasn't
previous.
entirely
So
altruistic.
let's say Darius tells the parks there, is a dude gonna come out and say, "Hey, prove that you're gay"?
No, he's gonna
And
say
just
prove that
unzips
you're
his-
yeah.
Unzips the
Exactly,
pants.
exactly. That's what I mean. They're gonna do that. Hey, suck this dick if you want that spot. Like what?
Well, that's
How will-
that's a bonus.
yeah,
Free parking and dick to suck.
It's my lucky day.
Yeah. Just keep parking over and over. Just come back that
turns up doesn't even have a car, standing in the space.
Oh shit.
Oh.
But it is like, I mean, it's like the theatre you were saying.
It's all political. Everything's all,
theatre.
it's all political. Even today, we're
But
having.
they know they're taking society backwards. They know
Yeah.
this. They know this for a fact that they're taking society backwards and they're going ahead with it.
But some people must
It's the
believe that they're not taking it.
Nah, they know. There's
The
no way
people at the
to-
top, but the people that are following it must actually know this is the
Some
genuinely.
people don't know yet.
Yeah.
The people who are following the woke clowns, some of them don't know. But yeah, the people at the top are. This is engineered.
Yeah,
This is engineered, 100%.
Right.
so man, just park your car.
And then other woke news
I dream of a day when straight people and gay people and
can park next to
can
each other.
park next to each
Yeah,
other.
what a day that would be.
What a day.
We're allowed to speak to each other.
Yeah.
And we're not defined by our identitarian, like, box
Or
ticking.
sexuality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about gender? I guess they can park like pansexual.
They can double park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think any pansexual people can afford a car? Anytime you meet them, they've always got a septum piercing and no money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Septum piercings are expensive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
have
why
you
they
ever?
can't
Has
afford
anyone
a
here?
car.
I had a tongue piercing.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Why on earth did you have a tongue piercing?
Why do you think?
He's going through some stuff.
Yeah, I was 15, man, and it actually got me a lot of pussy. Girls were like, "Oh my god, you got a tongue pierced." Like,
Really?
Yeah.
When you're 15?
Yeah.
Did it help with your cunnilingus?
No, but I
Did it help with your fellatio?
no. I don't know. I don't think I was amazing at 15 with a fellatio. But it was one of the most painful things I've ever had done.
Oh, really?
And your tongue swells up, and I like food, so and you can't eat properly.
You?
Yeah, this fat fuck.
You like food?
I love food. I also had dreadlocks as well. I've made some mistakes, is
Yeah,
what I'm
you
trying to
need-
say.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Mouch with dreadlocks and a
Blonde
tongue piercing.
dreadlocks at university. That was
You were the fucking guy from Freestyler.
chicka microphone.
Ding,
Yeah.
ding,
with the tongue.
Where did you study?
Business management.
Right, business management. You
With
had a pierced
dreadlocks.
tongue and blonde dreadlocks. Jesus Christ.
Pull up a
Fun
picture,
function.
Mooch.
I don't have
Pull up a
one. I don't
picture
have one.
of you with
I
blonde
really
dreadlocks.
wish I had one somewhere, but I don't have one online. I thought I did on my old Facebook, but I can't find it. I'm proud. I think that looks all right with him, but many disagree.
Facebook's turning into Meta. We haven't actually mentioned
Yeah.
that. It's not on our list. But any thoughts on that? On Mark Zuckerberg's.
It's gonna be crazy. Like I'm a.
Who is still using Facebook? That's the question.
But it's
Facebook
the
is
Facebook.
trash. You should all be off of it by now.
What would you
It's for
prefer?
grannies.
Do you like Twitter?
parlor.
I would say of all the apps right now, Twitter is probably the most decent.
Yeah, I think Twitter's the best. You get the most engagement.
You like WhatsApp?
Best for comedy.
WhatsApp is not really.
Yeah, but it's part of the Facebook family. Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp,
but,
Facebook.
I mean,
Not
it's
really social.
not
When
a
he's-
social media.
But yeah, but
really.
what he's saying is he doesn't care. He's trying to take over the whole thing. I've used the Oculus Quest, the virtual reality. Have you used that, Mooch?
Yeah, it's great.
It's pretty good, man.
Well, he
you
wants
should
to-
actually. You love porn, Nico. You should get a fucking Quest for the porn. It's
3D
What's her name?
porn
Is
is
Susa?
insane.
What was her name?
Zara
Zara
DeRose.
DeRose. Is she on?
yeah, she is on there.
Okay. I
Not
might.
that I know.
I don't watch porn, man. So
Yeah.
Well,
But yeah, so this metaverse
Last
thing.
week's episode, people were being
no,
begged to
I
do
only
it.
watched a bit of porn for that interview.
Okay.
But I don't watch.
for journalistic
That's-
purposes.
Yeah.
No, yeah, exactly.
It's,
For
it's
research.
professional.
But in general, I don't watch porn anymore.
Right.
But
You said it was inspiring to you and helped you in job choices. Gave you motivation.
oh,
to,
that joke was
Comedy.
old, man.
yeah, not
That was
anymore.
back in the day.
Now he no longer
yeah.
watches porn. He's a Christian now. He just doesn't
Yeah.
go to church.
Christians watch porn.
I watch porn. No, I don't. I'm stopping as one
I
actually.
watch porn. But yeah, so the metaverse is they're creating a sort of 3D virtual environment that you can all your social media is going to be in there. So it's going to mean that instead of like tweeting to get somebody cancelled, you're actually going to follow them down a virtual street, yelling abuse at them and shouting like, "My pronouns are she and they," and then go to a virtual reality pub and ask the virtual reality barman if the person said anything that could be deemed vaguely transphobic 10 years ago, and then you go to their virtual reality place of work and speak to their virtual reality boss and try and get them fired from their virtual reality job.
Is
So,
this true?
No, but I mean that's what happens on Twitter now. You know what I mean? That is what people are doing, like these offense
So
archaeologists.
this meta thing is going to be a 3D world? Is
Yeah.
what you
Yeah.
want for real?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
It's like from Black Mirror.
Yeah, but nobody's going to do it because I mean the thing about
I don't know,
Facebook,
man.
Oh, I don't know. I think a lot of people are.
man, then the advert it looked so shit. Like all these CGI people playing.
You know what
cards,
it
it's
is though,
fucking
because
bullshit.
all right, I'll give them credit where credit's due. It looks shit there, but when you actually put the headset on, the actual Oculus, it's really immersive. It really is immersive.
Oculus is from Facebook.
So they
Yeah,
make it. They
they bought
bought
it.
it. So they make it as well. And what they actually want is that at the moment it sounds like, oh, this is really dystopian. It will never happen. But then if I told you 2 years ago you're going to get locked indoors for a year and a half and not be able to go anywhere, you'd have said I was crazy. So the idea is you'd put this headset on. Everything would be done virtually because I've done it. I've been in the virtual reality place on Oculus, and it's like you're in the office and you can work and reply to your emails within the virtual reality world. So they want you to basically put that on and go, oh, no, you can take your holiday in here. You can do this in there.
yeah.
And you're plugged in all the time.
But my point would be, you got the Oculus headset. It's great for like a week. Then you get bored of it, and
Yeah.
it's like it's a faff and it's a hassle. Whereas this, oh, I want to check my Instagram. Just bing, I've checked my Instagram.
Yeah,
like
but mate,
10
I don't
seconds.
think it's going to be that. That's the thing.
But the draw.
The headset is going to be removed eventually. Just like, oh, cool, I need to get this giant computer to go on the internet.
but
Now
still,
it's on the palm
We
of your hand.
sleepwalking straight into the Matrix, aren't we?
Yeah,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah.
Sleepwalking
That-
straight into the Matrix.
Yeah.
And people, fuck technology. That's what you go do. Put down your phone, get off that shit.
But subscribe
And
and like and
this
comment
this
below.
stuff
please.
is enslaving us.
Yeah,
the
yeah.
technology is enslaving us. We should be in the bush fucking.
Yeah.
That's what we should be doing out there, shagging everybody
Yeah.
and eating fruits
Yeah.
and chasing zebras.
I agree.
That's exactly.
And looking
that's
at
what-
flamingos.
Yeah, that's what life is, man. Nature.
Drinking
There's
platypus milk.
There's nothing better than nature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, real nature. You can't
Yeah.
recreate
Licking
it
it off a,
headset.
licking it off
be
a
in-
duck.
I don't know.
bill's
Population
skin.
1 on Oculus Quest is pretty cool.
Oh, I played that.
That's a good game, isn't it?
Sometimes I don't know. Do you ever get motion sickness?
No, I'm a real man.
I got real. I broke my. I broke the light
toxic,
in my
Mitch.
house
You
and I
can't
got
say that.
motion sickness. I smashed. I was killing a zombie and I smashed the light. Then I got motion sickness from moving around in it because
Yeah.
if you use the controllers, it gives you really bad motion sickness. Actually, even thinking about it now, it's giving me motion sickness. It's really
Weak.
Yeah.
bad. Yeah, it is quite weak. That's why I sent it back.
Okay.
Well, coming back to the real world, huge events in Virginia. So Youngkin, Glenn Youngkin, he's a Republican candidate. He defeated the Democrats in the Virginia governor's race on Tuesday night. So it was a double-digit win
Double digit.
for Joe Biden. And it's gone down to a huge win for Glenn Youngkin. And I
You
think,
mean a double-digit lead?
Yeah.
You said win.
yeah, so Joe Biden took it as, the state went to the Democrats.
Is this
Oh,
the place?
okay,
This is the fake
They staged.
Charlottesville protest. sort of thing.
Yeah.
So what you were saying about what happens?
So Joe Biden took it with a double-digit lead.
Mm-hmm.
Then, when it comes to the governor's race, it's gone back over to the Republicans.
Is this the dude?
Okay.
Yeah, that's the guy.
He looks
This is
mad
worse than when
creepy.
Newcastle dropped all those points against Man U to lose the league.
Don't know what that means.
I would
but-
fucking love it. I'd love it. I'd
And
love
only
it.
Mooch gets that, but he knows it's quite a niche but good reference.
No, it's not niche. It's just these
What?
two.
Yeah.
So this
football.
governor came in. So you're saying it's a
But ba-
Democrat area. But
So
this
basically,
Republican
people are
won it.
Yeah.
and people are revolting because they're now starting to see that the Democrats are being just like they're just awful. They're kind of like the way they've acted so far has been awful. Like they've staged fake.
I think
They've-
we
they- but
haven't
they've-
really touched on this, so let's explain one of the reasons why there might have been such a big swing in this election is because Leo, you explain it because I'm not really.
You
that
can pull up the
interested in it,
picture. There's a picture in the link in the document. So basically, the Lincoln Project, which is an anti-Trump, sort of anti-Republican pressure group, they colluded with the Democrats to stage a sort of fake white supremacist rally. So the Jussie Smollett of rallies.
So these.
So did they pretend that
five
rally
guys-
was real, or did they say this is what it could be?
No,
like?
they pretended it was real. They staged it. They
When-
put it- and then they had to come out and say, actually, it was. I think it backfired on them. I think they meant to just do it, and like they didn't think they'd get caught, and they meant to remind because there was the Charlottesville thing
Yeah.
in 2017. So there was a similar thing happened 4 years ago.
So basically, they
But
made
there
fake
was real.
racism.
They made fake racism to.
Pull it out. I miss it. I was on my phone. Sorry.
If you
Lincoln
can't-
Project sent a group post.
I mean, that's awful. That's like just that's
So
basically calling. They basically called someone a racist, but pretended when they
there's a-
manufactured it.
There's a black man there. How is he a white supremacist?
Well, that's what the leader of the Proud Boys is black.
What?
So there's, I mean, a
There's a
lot
black
of,
man there.
yeah, but the leader of the Proud Boys is a black Cuban. And
Well, even more particular for this case, not the governor, but the other thing they were doing in Virginia. The winner was a black woman, and they're trying to say, "Oh, the Republicans are racist," and they're white. It's like they've got a black woman,
Yeah.
in power.
And the Democrats, funnily enough, were relying on the Hispanic vote to carry them, to be one of the, it's one of the growing demographics in America. So they were relying on that. But this Hispanic votes all went to Trump because, partly because they hate that Latinx bullshit.
Well, you know what? Well, first of all, Latin.
So wait, these men are supposed to be white supremacists.
Yeah.
So
basically,
what did they do? Did they do anything, or were they chanting?
They approached the bus of Glenn Youngkin, who was the Republican, as it pulled up, saying, "We're all in for Glenn," and here, we've got them here saying it in front of the bus.
We're all in for Glenn.
We're all in for
trying to
Glenn.
make Glenn look super racist.
Yeah.
Okay.
how that is dirty tricks on.
Oh
such
man,
another
the
level.
worst. So
But
divisive.
the thing is there's reports that sort of the media were pushing this, knowing full well that it was sort of a hoax.
Right.
So,
I mean,
and they
yeah.
continued to push it even once they'd been told, okay, this is.
To be honest,
Oh yeah, well the media are totally colluding with the Democrats to spread like false news and this false narrative that Republicans are all racist.
It seems weird that in America the it seems to be more the news is more liberal, or it's more divided over there. Here it seems a bit more right wing, I'd say.
Well, I think the
majority
news
of it.
here, like Ofcom, regulates the news here to make sure it's quite impartial. Whereas in America, it's much more partisan. So you've got Fox News on one side, and you've got
CNN, NBC.
CNN, and all the other ones on the other side. But I mean, Fox News is vastly more popular than all these.
Well, they do have a lot more attractive people on.
Yeah.
I think that does help.
Yeah.
I mean,
Cool.
I'd watch Fox News over
it-
what's called because
and it's
let's
funny,
get
I mean-
Tucker Carlson on the podcast. Shout out to Tucker.
If you watch stuff like so the late nights, the main late night talk show is Gutfeld on Fox because he's right wing and he's having a go at everybody, but he's being funny. You know what I mean? He's having a proper go at the left and stuff. Whereas like Colbert and stuff, he's like,
Colbert's going to the dogs.
take your vaccine, guys.
He used
Like,
to be good,
vaccine.
man.
Fuck.
He used to be good back in the day.
Yeah.
Colbert show was good.
Vaccine.
But that stuff is trash now, man.
Yeah,
Just
imagine
had to-
a court jester who just like supports the king instead of
Yeah.
mocking the king.
It's just wishy-washy nonsense, woke nonsense. Now.
Yeah.
All of them talk shows though are trash. They ain't no good. The last good one was Conan,
Yeah.
and now there's nothing.
Gutfeld is fun.
Well, I don't watch. I've never seen that.
It's worth checking. I mean, that's why it's number one because it's more like the sort of old days. It's like the the Letterman. type days.
Yeah, Conan was great back in the day.
Yeah.
Leno was decent, but now it's just it's just woke nonsense. Jimmy Kimmel,
Yeah.
James Corden, it's
Fallon.
got no edge to it.
James Corden came to one of my gigs once.
Really?
At the Amused Moose qualifier in the downstairs of a walkabout. He sat right in the front row.
No way.
Took everything in my power not to abuse him. Because when he was doing the Corden and whatever show it was.
Then he would have written a review.
Yeah. But luckily I was really shit anyway.
I definitely wants half price pizza. That guy.
Yeah. But what they're saying now, so then Youngkin won it and they said, oh, they're even as soon as they won it, all the CNN and stuff are trying to besmirch him as a racist because they say, oh, he run on a platform of education because a lot of parents now are saying, I don't want my kids being taught critical race theory. Like when we were growing up, if you went to school with me, it's like, oh, Nico, Darius.
Yeah.
In fact, all three of us, that'd be it, right? Now it'd be, oh, Nico's a slave, Darius is an immigrant, and Leo's the oppressor, which is true, but that's not the point. We wouldn't have known about it, right? And it would have been better for it.
Goes a slave.
Well, that's what they're trying to teach in school, man.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
they're
Try to
actually
divide
actively,
people.
and it's divisive. Like when I was growing up, there's none of this. I mean, fair ugh. I grew up in London. Maybe it's a bit different if you grew up somewhere in some parochial town.
I did grow up in a parochial
Is CRT at primary level or is it at secondary level?
Man,
quite young.
there was this weekend they were taking fucking elementary school in America. They were taking them to gay bars. Like, why are you taking elementary school kids to gay bars? Even straight bars, man. Just let them live their. They don't need to find out about their sex at fucking 5 years old.
But the CRT is that
It's from the start. From as soon as they go to school, they're trying to. Now they're saying they're trying to split up. Like, and the one thing about kids is kids are the most. They don't come with any judgment or any racism.
So honest.
The prejudice just comes from the parents. And by trying not to be prejudiced, they're going to be already even more prejudiced. It's just awful.
Again, engineered. It's all engineered.
Yeah, but then,
nonsense.
so when what CNN are saying on all these news, as soon as this thing came out of Yonkin, they went, he ran on a platform of an education, and immediately the next sentence he went, which as we know is playing on white people's racism because they're scared about their kids learning the truth.
Man, when are they going to learn that like just constantly shouting racism at everything isn't winning? It's not going to. Nobody likes it. I mean, people pretend to like it on Twitter, but it's not winning them anything.
It diminishes. It's like the boy who cried wolf, or it fosters and creates actual racism. And they won't be happy until that actually happens. Like it's like COVID. Like the numbers go down. And they celebrate when they go out so they can put more restrictions back on us. The numbers are up. Well, I told you to wear a mask because you didn't wear a mask. Now look at the numbers.
Yeah. I saw somebody on Twitter having a go at somebody for not being vaccinated.
Yeah.
And they said, I wasn't vaccinated and I caught COVID. No, they said, I was vaccinated and I caught coronavirus off my doctor who's vaccinated. And it's like, and they were both wearing, and it's like, so what? You were both vaccinated and you still caught coronavirus off them. So why has me not being vaccinated got anything to do with that? You know what I mean?
They only get a mild case of coronavirus. Mild. Like my often mild
and
cases
if they
of
die,
polio.
it's a mild death as well.
Well, man, yeah. Have you seen there's two, I mean, there's children dying in schools. It's been reported in the papers, but they always say, at the bottom.
Sudden illness.
Yes, sudden illness, and they don't want anybody speculating about it, which means it's the jab. Because
what
you're
about-
allowed to speculate about everything else.
Well, what about
It's
the
either
two
jab
elite?
or it's Islamists?
What about the two? What about the two elite footballers in the last week who have been rushed to hospital with heart concerns, which happens all the time in my memory, since as far back as I can remember. Often in a season there'd be 3 heart attacks on the pitch, just within the space of a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, we did have Ericsson in the summer as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm including him, and there's Aguero, and then there was another guy in Norway.
What, Sergio Aguero?
Sergio Aguero last week had to stop the match and get rushed to hospital with a cardiac incident.
I mean, he is
And
old.
He's like
36 now.
and they're like, we don't know what's caused this
He's not
cardio.
36.
Sergio Aguero?
Nah.
Is he not? 32?
That'd be like 31.
Prime heart attack age.
Yeah.
All that South American diet of Argentinians, all they eat is steak.
Yes,
And
Steak is good for your heart.
Yeah. Not the bits he eats.
So,
good.
and talking of sport, there's been an intergender MMA fight.
Yes.
yeah. They're
So-
finally copying WWF. They had that years ago, man. They had China versus Jericho. That was
Who won?
great. I think Jericho won.
Right.
He refused to put China over. He said it would lower
Yeah.
his brand.
But this fight,
The walls of Jericho.
I saw the footage. Did you see the
AEW,
footage
baby.
from this fight?
I'm trying to play it, but your phone is terrible.
Well, my phone's actually really good, Mooch. Maybe you could get some broadband
yeah,
in
we
your, in
would
your
be-
business.
It would be good.
I saw the fight. It was just rubbish.
I
Yeah.
mean, to be honest, I've seen the fight as well, and they're not fighters. It's just.
I mean,
two people.
she wasn't very good and he wasn't very good, but it's kind of more than. You know what? Have you seen Squid Game?
No.
Have you seen Squid Game, Mooch?
Yeah.
Squid Game, they were.
Yeah. I mean, this is.
That's the level of fighting that you're gonna get here. That's what happens in MMA, mate.
Yeah, but like, it's a woman.
That's sexist. You should be allowed to punch a woman in the face.
If they're up
think-
for it.
This is the thing. It's a glorious time for misogynists. Because you
What?
can literally cheer on, like, a man punching a woman in the face.
This has
for being a
been
good
kind of
person.
like roundly sort of poo-pooed.
Yeah, but I was talking about the transgender ones.
Well, what would the difference
But
be if
you
the
gotta
guy-
you gotta give the man credit for taking the fight though. He like fine fuck.
Can you imagine he'd lost? Can you imagine he'd lost? So this is in Poland where this all happened.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Like, no one talk to that man and be like, yo, bro.
This isn't going to look good.
Yeah. This ain't going to look good on your CV. And the man is like, boom, boom.
That's all right. I'll put on these sunglasses.
He's 1-0, man. He's 1-0, baby. Knockout as well.
Fucking hell.
What else have we got? Any more?
Yeah.
How long have we done, Mooch?
We got about an hour.
Must have done about an hour, yeah.
Must have done about an hour.
So, we've got this Cornell University professor who's failed students for not wearing the mask properly. That's just more of this like hygiene theatre that we're doing. What about this Eternal? I don't know what this is, Darius, but so this is a film.
So there's a new Marvel film. So Marvel have now moved into phase 2 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So phase 1 was basically built on the Marvel greats, Spider-Man, Iron Man, Hulk, and it basically quite more or less followed what the fans wanted. And then because of that, it's become the most like popular cinematic universe ever and made billions.
Hang on, Leo, you watch any of the Marvel movies?
No, I'm not 12 years old.
So you watch none of them?
I don't think so. I mean, I've seen Spider-Mans and stuff in the past. I've seen Superman back in 1984.
You see any of the Captain Americas, any of the Thors?
I saw one of the, I saw Captain America, the first one.
I watched one Iron Man.
Yeah, I've only seen probably 3 of the Marvel Universe things.
They're kind of shit. It's like watching somebody play PlayStation.
Yeah, I need to...
Well, anyway,
I would like to watch the last
Which is
one,
actually incredibly popular these
Yeah.
days as
So-
well. Like, one of the most popular things you can do is
Another example of
stream video games.
Terrible this generation.
Well, so my point is, whether you like it or not, the very first thing was very popular. Why? Because it was built on the legacy of these great characters being for years and generations, and they stuck true to them and brought all their fans with them, built the thing. Now, obviously, the left have come on and said, "Oh, Captain America's sexist or whatever," right? So they're trying to make the Marvel Cinematic Universe more diverse in gender, whatever, open it up. But instead of doing it like in a cool way, they're like just like, look, we're doing it like we're going out of our way to do it. So they made this new film called Eternals, which is, quote from their own press release, the most diverse Marvel universe ever, right? So it's got the first gay kiss, multiple gender people, multiple different type, whatever. But the fact of the matter is, it's a drizzling shit film. And that's not me saying it. I haven't seen it. That's based on reviews, even from The Guardian, who you think would like it. It got a 2-star review. Now they're coming out saying it's been review bombed. It's like, yeah, but it's not. It's been review bombed. Yeah, not because it's diverse.
What's review bombing?
Review bombing is when you see something and the people just turn on it because it's shit. So like...
So they organise a sort of campaign to get bad reviews on the internet.
Yeah, exactly, allegedly. So they're saying it's been review bombed, but it's like The Guardian have not review bombed you. They've just said you've made a shit film. Yeah. But then now to deny that, they're saying now what they've come out. Kamal Nanjiani, who's a very funny comedian, actually, he's come out and he's said, "Oh, looks like we're upsetting the right type of people."
And by we, who's he talking about?
Well, he's talking about the film. He's in the Eternal on the left, but he's saying we're upsetting the right type of film. Basically,
is he in the film?
Yeah, he's in the film. But he's basically saying we're upsetting like Trump supporters, come out and support us because it's for diversity. But the film's not even been released yet. So he's deleted the tweet because he posted it too early. Because he was meant to post it next week. So how can you upset the people if it's not been done? So it's basically the whole thing is it's more manufactured thing to like just all of this.
Let me just say they've turned movies to shit. All of this woke programming, and you can see the agenda in the thing, and you're like, come on, like that series my girl,
I haven't seen it.
My wife was saying that there's an anti-vax episode in there.
Oh, really?
On you dirty anti-vaxxers. And somebody went on Twitter and said, okay, you got a psychopathic pedophile killer, right? But you concerned about somebody who ain't taking the vaccine. You know what I mean? Like, clearly the wrong one you should be saying is this guy's a killer.
Yeah,
but you're going, this killer is going, you anti-vaxxers or whatever. It's just everything. On Netflix is at fault for this as well. Almost every show now on Netflix has some sort of woke agenda. You can just see it there. Like, it's just crazy.
It's because woke people have infiltrated Hollywood and the MCU and everything, so they're pushing all this stuff that nobody, and they think it's popular because they look at Twitter and they see all these people who agree with them saying, "Oh yeah, this is great." They're not buying tickets to the fucking show. They can't afford tickets to the fucking show because they live in their mum's basement. They don't have, if they got real jobs and paid tax, they wouldn't be woke.
Look, every show now on Netflix, there's some interracial couple or a couple adopting a different color baby.
Yeah.
And then there's always a gay friend. And then there's something else, some other issue like self-harming or some other issue in there.
Yeah.
That it just box ticking. We got interracial, yeah. We got adoption or something, boom. We got bulimia or self-harming or some, yeah, tick.
You know what
we
wasn't
got,
diverse?
We got
Squid Game.
Is it not diverse?
And well, this is, I was gonna say, and the reason,
that's Korean.
And you know what it is? It's the most popular Netflix thing of all time, and it's not only not diverse. It's actually so that at one point they go, we don't want women on our team because they're weak and shit. And it's true. So that's as opposed to like
the Polish MMA does back up that.
Yeah. But it's like if that had been made in Hollywood, it'd be like, oh, we want a whole team of strong, powerful women who are going to win the tug of war. It's like, no, which is why people are like, I don't watch Star Wars, but they've all turned on Star Wars because like they call these, I forgot, they call them Susie Lees or something like that, where their women are like, have no faults. They're like the most powerful characters. Nothing can beat them. They instantly pick up a new skill and they can do everything. It's like, it's not realistic. People want a little bit of realism.
And it's like, as people said, like, they were strong. Obviously, they're more now, but there were strong, great female characters back then.
I watched Aliens last night. That was a great film.
Aliens,
Terminator 2.
Terminator, yeah.
Long Kiss Goodnight with Gina Davis. There was that one with
Indiana Jones as well.
Yeah. Who's that woman? Carrie Fisher.
Oh yeah, Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars, and there's another movie. I can't remember what it was, but there were women that you were like, you didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
Like back, there used to be this martial arts lady. I think her name was Cynthia Rough-Rock.
Oh,
and
yeah.
that's all we used to talk about. We used to talk about her, Silver Fox, and this woman was badass, just kicking ass, and nobody was pushing it. It was just, that's a cool fucking character.
Yeah.
She's great, you know?
And you know what? They're iconic. Name one of the women that they're trying to push now that's iconic.
Yeah.
Even like She-Ra. We used to watch She-Ra. Nobody was thinking about it. We just go, oh, She-Ra is great. Yeah. Boom. But no, the way they push it and force it on you is like, this is, you know.
I made She-Ra go bad's voicemail for like 2 years because I got the thing of it. She-Ra, She-Ra. I had it as his voicemail. I changed it and he could never change it back. He'd get business calls and they were like, She-Ra, She-Ra. This is a call from Mr. Davey Shoujo.
No, She-Ra.
Yeah, but there's no iconic ones because they're not individuals anymore. They are just defined by their identity. So you're not. They don't want strong characters. They want somebody tick 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 tick, and that's you can't even remember the ones in Star Wars and stuff. I can't even remember.
But there was that woman in Aliens, and who was the other one?
Sigourney
Weaver.
Weaver.
But there was another great movie with a female lead, man, from the 80s. Who was it? Somebody was talking about
one other movie.
We're probably proving the point.
But there was at least two of them.
That's enough. We got the point.
But yeah, Aliens was she was great in the Aliens.
Yeah,
but there was
They should do a new one of Alien.
Illegal aliens.
Right, the whole Alien thing was about was a feminist movie because the alien was a woman as well.
It was mum being mum,
Yeah. That's right.
Did you watch
Sharon Stone was kicking ass back in them days.
And Flashing Minge.
Yeah, Flashing and Minge. Good point.
Yeah.
I went to Alien War in the Trocadero.
I did as well, and it was fucking
wicked.
incredible.
Yeah.
Why? What happened?
Oh man, it was like an experience. We went there.
Alien what?
It was
Alien
called
Wars.
Alien War in Trocadero. It was like an.
Do you have guns?
It's basically Secret Cinema before Secret Cinema, but it was only 20 minutes, and it was kind of for kids.
And basically, there'd be a long queue outside the Trocadero.
You know what
right?
Secret Cinema is? Where they kind of like, it's an immersive experience around a film. So they'll build the sets, they'll have actors and stuff like this. Alien Wars at the Trocadero was essentially this: you go in, you buy tickets, and you'll go into the scene of the movie Aliens. They've got real.
What, you got 3D glasses on?
No, you're in
it's
the
real
film.
people, like real
Actors.
aliens. Obviously not real aliens, someone in a fucking costume. But you've got all the Marines there with the guns. They're like, oh, come on, I'm this way through here. Oh shit, blah blah blah. And they'll have like
They're acting out a scene from the movie?
They have. It's a scene from the movie, but they also have plants because there'll be a group of like 15 of you, and 2 of them will be actors, and like. aliens will come in and drag him out the room. It was intense.
It was great, man.
that
But
sounds good.
the thing is, it was in two things were funny that were about it, right? You'd be in the queue outside, and every so often you'd see people run out and screaming, right? So what would happen at the last part of the experience, right? An alien would chase you down the corridor, and you'd come sprinting out, and you sprint right through this line and straight into the gift shop. It was amazing. So you sprint, by the time you slow down, you're in the gift shop. It's really cool. But then when I went there one time, the reason it didn't thrive is because it was in London. So an alien came out, and I literally saw a rude boy try and start a fight with him. Like, fuck you, alien! You want some of this? Come on in, yeah? I'll fuck you up. And I just saw an alien getting its head kicked in. And the alien's like, no, please, I'm just an actor. It's getting beaten up.
The old Vic.
Yeah. It was. I know. I did it. I'm playing Tarada. Fuck you. You never seen anything funnier than an alien getting his head kicked in by a rude boy.
Were people going in there and jerking off?
No, it's like imagine it's like
Jesus Christ.
you go in.
If you got an alien fetish, maybe, but
You walked into this room, right? You paid your money. You walked in. As soon as you get in, there's an actor, and he's dressed with like a marine with a gun. He goes, "You're in an alien ship now. We're gonna get taken down by these aliens. Get in line. And you have to go into this thing. Goes, sit down. Oh my God, they're coming! And then the aliens will start attacking you from out of nowhere. It's like, get down.
But
there,
what if
run,
you start
run."
jerking off then?
Well, then it's like you jerking off now.
Yeah.
People just think,
Don't
why
start
is this,
jerking off
why
now.
is this man
there's a
jerking
lot
off
of
in front of
kids
us?
on these experiences.
But it was,
Nico,
and then you'd go onto like a spaceship and they'd have face huggers. So they'd put your feet up on the seat, but no one would do it. And they'd grab your legs. So you go, ah! It was really fun. Like before its time.
Remember
experience.
Pee Wee Herman?
Yeah.
He jerked off in a cinema.
Yeah.
It's not a cinema though.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's an experience.
That was a Pee
That was a
Wee Herman.
porn theater though, so you're
Was
sort of
it?
expected to. Yeah, it wasn't just regular
No,
cinema.
I thought it was a regular
No,
cinema.
I'm pretty
no,
sure
no.
it's a porn
He's
theater.
just into kinky shit, man. He got taken down for it because people didn't like him.
Yeah, then he made a bit of a comeback. He was in what's that film with Johnny Depp?
Is he
about a
still
cocaine
alive?
dealer? Yeah, the guy's still alive.
Shout out to Pee Wee Herman.
Yeah, great stuff. He was Pee Wee's Big Adventure, hilarious film.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, it's a
I
funny
didn't know
film.
he's still alive. He got to be like, how old? 80
69.
now?
He was it's not that long, but
Pull him
like
up.
he was in a film with Johnny Depp about the cocaine dealer. So he played one of the cocaine guys.
He's 69.
69.
Yeah.
Wow.
Paul Rubenfeld.
Yeah.
Pee Wee Herman. What? Nah, I thought it was a regular cinema show.
Is he
that
funny?
jerked off.
No. I mean, it's kind of kids' humor.
Yeah,
So-
Pee Wee's Big Adventure's funny.
No, I haven't seen it.
It's not. I don't think it's not what you pop on when you get home to sort of enjoy a chuckle. It's weird American style Mr. Bean, I suppose, isn't it?
A bit more
more
funnier than that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bean was good though. Bean was real popular in Barbados.
Yeah, he was popular.
It's weird how like
Massive.
that. It kind of Mr. Bean was huge
All over, yeah.
all over. Like I
Crazy.
suppose it's because there's no English. It's kind of like it's very physical comedy. He
It
doesn't
was really
talk.
funny. I remember when I was a kid, that was really funny, Mr. Bean. Have we got anything else to say before we end this podcast? Anything?
Let's just end the podcast.
All right, so in summation, Leon and current generation Hollywood is shit, according to Nico. Winners, get in touch with us some way, somehow. We'll get your stuff sent out
Send
to
a
us.
message to Darius.
To Darius.
I'll give you his number now.
Shira.
Shira. Anything else we need to talk about? Nothing?
No,
No, that's it, I think. So thank you for listening. If you haven't, please like and subscribe. We're almost up to 300.
07508 006.
93. Can
And
anyone guess the final
guess the
number?
last number.
Yeah,
Just
guess
send
the
Darius
last number. Send me a thing. Yeah, like and subscribe. Please, thank you for listening. I've been Darius Davies.
I've been Nico Yearwood.
I've been Leo Kers.
I've been Mouch.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.
Good podcast.